What if everything you learned about color in school, every fundamental truth you absorbed about how we perceive the dazzling, vibrant tapestry of the world around us was only half the story? Imagine the crisp, analytical precision of a science classroom, diagrams illustrating light waves, their measured wavelengths, frequencies, oscillations. You recall neat explanations of prisms, patiently dissecting what we're told is white light into its component colors, each a distinct band on a quantifiable spectrum. This is color presented as a purely objective phenomenon, a matter of physics, a quantifiable property simply waiting to be observed and catalogued. We've been taught to understand color with our intellect, to dissect it, measure it, reduce it to data. And for good reason, this scientific framework has undeniably propelled our understanding of the physical universe. But now, close your eyes and let a different kind of image unfold in your mind. Picture the transcendent, fiery oranges bleeding into deepest purples, painting the western sky as the sun dips below the horizon, transforming an ordinary evening into an unforgettable spectacle. Recall the profound, almost spiritual emotion that washes over you as you stand before a masterwork of art, bold, resonating blues and searing, passionate reds of a Rothko or a Titian, colors that don't just sit on a canvas but seem to vibrate within your very core. Or perhaps, remember the indescribable tranquility and sense of peace you find enveloped by myriad, shifting greens of an ancient, sun-dappled forest, where every leaf, every shadow, whispers a different shade of life. Does the sterile explanation of a wavelength truly capture the soul-stirring majesty of a sunset? Can a scientific diagram ever encapsulate the raw, emotional power of a masterpiece or the grounding serenity of nature? Does reducing color to an objective measurement truly explain why a certain hue can make your heart race, bring tears to your eyes, or fill you with an inexplicable joy? For centuries, our collective understanding of color has been profoundly shaped by the towering genius of Sir Isaac Newton, the revered father of modern physics. His meticulous experiments with prisms, which famously demonstrated how white light could be broken down into the familiar rainbow spectrum, laid a foundational cornerstone for our scientific worldview. It's a theory so deeply ingrained, so universally accepted, it feels almost sacrilegious to even entertain a challenge. It's the truth, isn't it? Pure, unassailable scientific fact. But what if one of history's most celebrated and multifaceted minds, a figure of staggering intellectual breadth and poetic depth, dared to suggest that Newton, for all his brilliance, had missed something fundamental, something profoundly human and experiential? What if Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, the German polymath, incomparable author of Faust and a titan of literature, a man whose insights spanned poetry, drama, science, and philosophy, didn't just see light as particles or waves, but saw color as a dynamic, living phenomenon, an interplay between light and darkness, observer and observed, matter and spirit, that Newton's purely mechanistic view had overlooked? Goethe spent not just months or years, but decades meticulously observing color. He wasn't confined to a sterile, detached environment of a laboratory, but immersed himself in the vibrant, ever-changing canvas of the natural world, in the subjective, personal experience of the human eye. He believed that color isn't merely an objective property existing out there, waiting to be measured and categorized. He saw it as an active, integral participant in our perception, intrinsically linked to our inner world, our feelings, our very way of being. For Goethe, Color was not a simple scientific equation to be solved, but a profound, complex language to be learned and felt, a dialogue between the world and our consciousness. He dared to ask what happens when we approach color not just as physicists, but as poets, artists, as sentient beings deeply affected by what we see. This journey we're about to embark upon is far more than a simple historical reappraisal of two brilliant minds. It is an invitation to fundamentally reconsider color, to rediscover it in a way that resonates deeply with your emotions, your psychology, your philosophical understanding of reality, and perhaps even your very soul. We will peel back the layers of purely objective science to explore the profound, subjective, and phenomenological side of color. We will delve into how specific hues don't just register in our retinas, but ignite specific feelings, influence our moods, shape our thoughts, and subtly guide our behaviors. From the calming embrace of cool blues to the invigorating pulse of warm reds, from the vibrant optimism of yellow to the somber depths of violet, we will explore the intricate tapestry of color's psychological impact. Prepare to unlearn some long-held assumptions. Prepare to question the foundations of what you thought you knew about light and perception. Prepare to open your eyes and your mind to a richer, more holistic, and profoundly human understanding of color. This is not about discrediting Newton's monumental contributions. It is about acknowledging that there is an entire, magnificent, often ignored other half of the story of color waiting to be illuminated. Welcome, curious minds, to a journey into a world we often take for granted, yet one that holds profound mysteries and endless beauty, the world of living color. We wake up to sunrises painted in impossible oranges and violets, navigate vibrant cityscapes brimming with human ingenuity, and find deep solace in the calming greens of nature. Yet, how often do we truly pause to understand the immense power and intricate, unspoken language of these hues? Most of us, myself included for a very long time, have relegated color to the realm of mere physics, a convenient, often reductionist explanation of wavelengths, a simplified spectrum diagram, a purely scientific fact. But what if I told you there's another way to see? A richer, deeper, more profoundly human way of engaging with the chromatic universe? Today, we embark on an exploration into what I consider a truly lost masterpiece of human understanding, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe's theory of colors. Goethe, a towering figure in literature, science, and philosophy, a polymath whose intellect spanned disciplines, didn't approach color as an abstract optical phenomenon to be dissected impersonally in a laboratory. For him, color was a living, breathing, dynamic component of our subjective experience, an ongoing interaction between light, darkness, and our own inner being. His monumental work, often misunderstood or even casually dismissed in the shadow of Newton's prism-centric explanations, isn't merely a historical curiosity, it's a profound invitation to reconnect with color on a profoundly human, holistic level. It's a testament to the idea that perception itself is an active, creative process, and that the world we inhabit is not just objectively out there, but also actively shaped and constructed by our senses, our consciousness, and our emotions. This book isn't just about what colors are in a physical sense, it's about what colors do to us, what they mean to us, and how they enrich and permeate the very fabric of our lives. It's an inquiry into the qualitative aspect of reality, a vibrant and much-needed counterpoint to purely quantitative analyses that often strip the world of its inherent magic. For decades, my personal understanding of color was, I confess, strictly analytical. I saw red as a distinct, longer wavelength, blue as its shorter counterpart. I meticulously learned about cones and rods in the eye, about the mechanics of absorption and reflection that explain visual phenomena. It was all very neat, very scientific, and frankly, a little cold, a little sterile. It explained the how and what of the mechanics beautifully, but it completely failed to capture the sheer experience, the raw emotional impact, the vibrant presence of color itself. It was akin to understanding the precise grammar and syntax of a language without ever feeling the profound poetry, the deep narratives, or the poignant emotions it could convey. Then, several years ago, a serendipitous encounter with Goethe's theory of colors completely dismantled my neatly organized scientific boxes. This wasn't just another textbook, it was an awakening, a profound shift in perspective. It taught me to perceive color not merely as a physical property, a measurable frequency, but as a profound and expressive language, a language spoken by the subtle interplay of light and shadow, by raw human emotion, and by the natural environment itself. I literally began to see the world anew. The cool, contemplative blue of a twilight sky wasn't just the result of scattered light, it intrinsically evoked a specific sense of calm, a contemplative mood, an almost spiritual peace. The fiery, dramatic oranges and reds of a sunset weren't simply the outcome of atmospheric particles. They felt like a passionate, grand farewell to the day, a visceral drama playing out before my very eyes. My journey with Goethe fundamentally transformed my perception from a passive reception of objective data into an active, engaged, and deeply personal dialogue with the visual world. It taught me that color is less about what exists independently out there and far more about the dynamic, living interplay between light, the observed object, and crucially, me, the observer. It brought the essential human element back into the equation, making everything feel more vibrant, more meaningful, more intricately alive than I had ever imagined possible. Now, let me be very clear from the outset, this video isn't an attempt to refute modern optics or to declare Goethe right and Newton wrong in any simplistic, binary sense. Contemporary science has bestowed upon us incredible tools and insights into the physical nature of light and color, and we undoubtedly stand on the shoulders of giants in this field. Our goal here is far more nuanced, more integrative, and I believe, profoundly enriching. We aim to explore Goethe's intensely human-centered vision as a crucial complement to our sophisticated modern scientific understanding, not as an antiquated replacement for it. Imagine the vast, intricate tapestry of human knowledge. Science is one indispensable thread, beautifully intricate and immensely strong, meticulously explaining the objective mechanisms of the universe. Goethe offers another thread, equally vital and deeply meaningful, woven from the rich fabric of human experience, perception, and subjective meaning. This video is precisely about weaving those threads together, about understanding that there are diverse and equally valid ways of knowing, and that each offers unique and invaluable insights. We're not discarding the quantifiable, instead, we're embracing and elevating the qualitative. We're seeking to understand color not just as a phenomenon of physics, but as a fundamental, inescapable aspect of human existence, something that colors our thoughts, shapes our emotions, and even profoundly influences our spiritual outlook and connection to the world. It's about reclaiming a holistic, integrated approach to understanding our world, one that deeply values both objective measurement and rich, subjective experience. So, what stimulating insights and experiences can you expect from this journey? Prepare to step gracefully beyond the familiar diagrams of the electromagnetic spectrum and the often dry technicalities of modern colorimetry. We will delve deeply into the profound artistic implications of color, exploring how master painters throughout history, and indeed contemporary artists, intuitively understand and harness its immense power to evoke feeling, to establish atmosphere, and to tell compelling stories. We'll uncover the pervasive psychological impacts of different hues, delving into why certain colors inherently make us feel calm or agitated, joyful or melancholic, and how this invaluable knowledge can be thoughtfully applied in areas like interior design, therapeutic practices, and even in simply curating our daily personal environments. Furthermore, we'll venture into the more abstract, spiritual, and philosophical dimensions of color, as Goethe himself firmly believed that color could offer profound glimpses into deeper truths about the universe, our consciousness, and our intrinsic place within it. This isn't just an academic exercise, it's a heartfelt invitation to cultivate a richer, more nuanced, and deeply personal appreciation for the boundless colors that surround you every single day. It's about empowering you to truly see the world with refreshed eyes, to understand the silent, powerful language spoken by every shade, tint, and tone. Join me as we immerse ourselves in this captivating world of living color, guided by the profound and enduring insights of a genius who dared to look beyond the prism into the very heart of human perception and existence. Welcome to Chapter 1, The Soul of Color, Light, Darkness, and Everything in Between. As we embark on this illuminating journey, prepare to cast aside conventional notions and embrace a worldview where color pulses with life and meaning. In this foundational chapter, we delve into the very heart of Johann Wolfgang von Goethe's revolutionary understanding of color, a perspective that profoundly challenges centuries of established scientific thought. For Goethe, color was not merely a physical property, a measurable wavelength, nor was it hidden passively within light. Instead, he saw it as a vibrant, dynamic event, a primordial dance born from the most essential and omnipresent forces in our universe, light and darkness. He invited us to perceive color not as a thing, but as an experience, an active interplay unfolding before our very eyes. To truly grasp Goethe's insight, we must first briefly revisit the prevailing scientific view of his time, heavily influenced by the towering figure of Isaac Newton. Newton's famous prism experiment, where a beam of white sunlight was passed through a prism to reveal a spectrum of colors, seemed to offer irrefutable proof. His conclusion, white light itself was a composite, a blend of all colors, which the prism merely split apart. From this, the scientific orthodoxy firmly established that color is intrinsically contained within light, and darkness, by extension, is simply the passive absence of light. It was a reductionist, mechanistic explanation, dissecting light into its constituent parts. But Goethe, a polymath, a poet, and above all, a meticulous observer of nature, found this explanation deeply unsatisfying. He felt it stripped color of its sensual richness, its immediate reality. When he, too, picked up a prism, he wasn't trying to decompose white light in a darkened room. Instead, he looked through it, observing the natural world, a white wall, or the edge of a window frame. What he consistently noticed was profoundly different from Newton's findings. He observed that colors didn't appear spontaneously from a uniform, undifferentiated light source. Rather, they consistently emerged precisely at the edges where light met shadow, where brightness bordered darkness, where luminosity encountered obscurity. He saw a distinct blue-violet fringe forming where darkness encroached upon light, seemingly condensing it, and conversely, a brilliant yellow-red fringe appearing where light encroached upon darkness, seemingly intensifying it. For Goethe, the prism wasn't revealing colors from light, it was demonstrating the fundamental conditions under which colors arise, the dynamic interaction between light and its antithesis, darkness. This crucial observation led Goethe to a truly radical conclusion: darkness is not merely the passive absence of light. Far from being avoided, it is, in Goethe's philosophy, an active, fundamental force, a necessary and potent counterpart to light. Think of it not as an empty space, but as an inherent potential, a resistant medium, a condition upon which light acts and with which it interacts. Without darkness, without this essential counterpole, this obscuring element, color simply cannot manifest. It's like understanding that silence is more than just the absence of sound. It's a canvas upon which sound gains meaning and resonance. In the same way, darkness provides the essential material ground, the resistance, against which light can reveal its rich chromatic variations. It is an active principle of densification and obscuration, giving form and intensity to light. To bring this principle into vivid focus, consider the most universal and breathtaking examples from our everyday experience: the serene blue of our daytime sky and the fiery, dramatic red of a sunset. How do these arise from seemingly colorless sunlight? Newton's theory, while explaining some aspects, often resorted to complex explanations of selective scattering of pre-existing colors within light. Goethe offered a more intuitive and poetically powerful explanation, one directly tied to his dynamic principle of light and darkness. The blueness of the sky, he argued, is not light being stripped of its other colors, but rather light seen through a turbid medium, our atmosphere, acting as a vast, ethereal veil of subtle darkness filled with tiny particles of dust and moisture. When direct light passes through this slight, misty darkness, it experiences a densification, an obscuration, and consequently appears blue. The more darkness or particulate matter light traverses, the deeper and more saturated the blue appears. It's light seen through an obscuring medium, not light being separated into its components. And what of the sunset's glorious oranges and deep reds? This is the very same phenomenon, but intensified, almost as if viewing it from the opposite pole of the interaction. Here we are seeing the direct sunlight, but it has traveled through a vastly greater thickness of the atmosphere, a much denser, more profound darkness of air, dust and moisture at the horizon. As light struggles to penetrate this increased atmospheric darkness, as it contends with this substantial resistance, it appears to become further condensed, intensified, almost materializing into those rich yellows, oranges, and deep, fiery reds, its light battling and transforming in profound darkness, not light having its blue components selectively scattered away, leaving only the reds. This fundamental, observable truth that color arises not from light alone, but from the dynamic interaction, the interplay, the inherent tension between light and darkness, Goethe termed the Urphänomen, or primordial phenomenon. It is not a theory in the traditional Newtonian sense, derived from abstract mathematical principles. Instead, it is a primary, irreducible phenomenon that can be directly observed and apprehended by anyone, without further reduction or complex instrumentation. Like the Piflans, his primordial plant, which embodies the essence of all plant forms, the phenomenon of color is the core, undeniable fact from which all other observations about color flow. It is the point of origin, the observable wellspring of all chromatic experience. It posits that color is not a static property of an object, nor a fixed constituent of light, but an event, a process of becoming, perpetually unfolding where light and darkness meet and merge. It is the ultimate boundary, the purest manifestation of their encounter. So, as we embark on this profound exploration of Goethe's theory of colors, let us hold this transformative principle at our very core. For Goethe, color is the vibrant, sensual offspring of light and darkness. It is the visible manifestation of their eternal dance, a testament to the active, indispensable role of darkness and the profound, transformative power of light. With this foundational understanding, we begin to unlock a richer way of seeing the world, not as a fixed collection of colored objects, but as a vibrant, ever-changing symphony orchestrated by these two primal forces, light and shadow, constantly inviting us to look deeper, to truly see the soul of color in every flickering hue. Welcome to Chapter 2, the emotional poles, the warmth of yellow and the coolness of blue. Here, we delve into one of the most compelling aspects of Goethe's monumental theory of colors, his revolutionary, proto-psychological color wheel. Unlike the purely objective, prism-driven analysis of his scientific contemporaries, Goethe was profoundly interested in how colors affect us, how they resonate within our human experience, shaping our emotions and perceptions. He proposed a fascinating division of the color spectrum into two fundamental, emotionally charged halves: the plus side, radiating warmth and activity, and the minus side, embodying coolness and recession. Let's begin our exploration with the plus side, where light and vitality reign supreme, anchored by the radiant essence of yellow. For Goethe, yellow is not merely a color, it is light itself made visible. Imagine the invigorating burst of morning sunshine, the cheerful glow of a lemon, or the warm, inviting light spilling from a window at dusk. Yellow is intrinsically linked to brightness, cheerfulness, and an active, positive energy. It brings a sense of immediacy and proximity. It appears to advance, to come forward, to draw our attention. It is the color of optimism and clarity. But the journey through Goethe's color wheel is rarely static. He introduced the crucial concept of Steigerung, meaning intensification or heightening, to explain how colors evolve in their qualities and emotional impact. As yellow undergoes Steigerung, as it becomes denser and more saturated, it transforms. First, it ripens into a vibrant, warm orange, embodying a more direct, energetic cheerfulness. Then, with further profound Steigerung, it blossoms into the formidable power of red. This passionate, dominant red is the undisputed apex of the plus side. It screams action, demands attention, signifies strength, vitality, and even danger. Think of the flush of excitement, the fiery heat of passion, or the unmistakable warning of a stop sign. Red is dynamic, assertive, and feels incredibly close, almost demanding physical engagement. Consider the archetypal example in nature, a crackling campfire on a cool evening. The reds and oranges of the flickering flames don't just illuminate, they radiate warmth, they draw you in, creating a focal point of communal energy and primal comfort. This entire plus side of the spectrum is characterized by its expansive, active, and life-affirming qualities. Now let's gently cross over to the opposite end of the spectrum, to the minus side, where the profound and often melancholic influence of blue predominates. If yellow is light made visible, blue, for Goethe, is the color of darkness, of shadow given form. It is the antithesis of yellow's advancing energy. Instead, blue recedes, it withdraws, creating a sense of distance, vastness, and depth. Envision the serene, almost infinite expanse of the deep ocean, or the hushed, contemplative quality of a twilight sky. Blue evokes quietude, introspection, and often a touch of melancholy. It's the color of profound coolness, tranquility, and at times, solitude. But just as yellow intensifies, so too does blue undergo its own process of Steigerung. As blue deepens and grows denser, absorbing more darkness, it transitions into violet. This intensification creates a color steeped in solemnity, reverence, and profound mystery. Violet, at the extreme of the minus side, can feel deeply spiritual, almost sacred, yet also carries an inherent sense of unease or gravitas in its deepest forms. It stands at the threshold of the invisible, hinting at depths beyond immediate perception. To illustrate this, picture a majestic mountain range shrouded in the cool, blue haze of distance, perhaps beneath a violet-tinged dawn or dusk sky. These distant peaks don't invite physical engagement. Instead, they evoke a sense of awe, contemplation, and a humbling realization of scale. They represent a space that is remote, ancient, and quietly powerful, the very essence of the minus side. Goethe's brilliance lay in articulating that these aren't merely subjective preferences. They are fundamental responses ingrained in our human perception. The plus colors, originating from yellow and intensifying to red, are expansive, exciting, and feel close, urging us towards action and warmth. The minus colors, stemming from blue and deepening into violet, are contractive, calming, or even somber, creating a sense of distance and inviting reflection. The concept of Steigerung is not just a descriptive tool. It is the philosophical key to understanding the dynamic journey of color within Goethe's system. It explains how simple sensations of light and darkness transform into complex emotional states, guiding us from the vibrant cheerfulness of yellow to the passionate intensity of red, and from the quiet, cool depths of blue to the profound, almost spiritual solemnity of violet. Goethe's theory, in this remarkable division and dynamic interplay of emotional poles, offered an unprecedented and enduring framework for understanding the profound psychological impact of color on the human soul, a framework that continues to resonate with artists, psychologists, and anyone who seeks to understand the deeper language of light and shadow. Welcome back to Feeling in Full Color, our journey through Goethe's groundbreaking theory of colors. Having explored how he meticulously charted the purely physical phenomenon of color, we now turn our attention to one of the most compelling and enduring aspects of his work, the profound psychological and emotional impact that individual hues have on us. Goethe wasn't content with just observing how light and darkness create color. He delved deeply into the subjective experience, into the very soul of color, offering insights that, 2 centuries later, continue to resonate with remarkable precision in modern color psychology. He understood that colors aren't just seen, they are felt, they evoke responses, and they subtly, yet powerfully, shape our moods and perceptions. Let's begin with yellow-red, or what we most commonly refer to today as orange. For Goethe, this wasn't merely a superficial mixture of 2 primary sensations. It was a color imbued with maximum energy, a powerful, almost noble warmth, and an expansive, radiant quality. He saw it as the epitome of glowing vitality, a dynamic and joyful hue that actively pushed outwards. Imagine the invigorating warmth of a rising sun, not at its softest dawn, but at its vibrant ascent, full of promise and unbridled vigor. This intense warmth, this almost aggressive cheerfulness, makes yellow-red exceptionally effective at commanding attention and rousing the human spirit. It's the quintessential color of enthusiasm, of immediate action, and often of uninhibited celebration. Consider its ubiquitous presence in modern branding, energetic orange logos for companies striving to convey innovation, dynamism, and approachability. Firms in technology, sports, or even popular food chains frequently leverage this hue to signal excitement, youthfulness, and easy accessibility. Beyond marketing, the bright, attention-grabbing orange of a traffic cone or a safety vest isn't accidental. It's a direct, practical application of its energetic, maximum impact properties, echoing Goethe's profound observation of its commanding visual power and ability to instantly draw the eye. It's a color that demands to be noticed and remembered. Moving along the color spectrum, we arrive at green, a hue Goethe described with an almost poetic reverence, assigning it a singular psychological role. For him, green represented perfect balance, a state of absolute satisfaction, a place where both the eye and the soul could find profound rest. It emerges from the harmonious interplay of yellow and blue, creating an unparalleled sense of equilibrium that is both calming and reassuring. Goethe vividly observed that the eye demands green, suggesting an innate human need for this particular hue, perhaps stemming from our deep-seated, evolutionary connection to the natural world. He considered it a restorative oasis, a color that neither overexcites nor unduly distracts, but rather brings everything into a tranquil, measured, and stable state. This concept of restorative balance and natural harmony is incredibly pertinent and widely applied today. In interior design, green is a perennial favorite for spaces specifically intended for relaxation, healing, and focused concentration. Think of the serene green rooms in hospitals, therapeutic environments, educational institutions, or indeed, our very homes, where it actively fosters an atmosphere of peace, growth, and regeneration. Brands committed to health, sustainability, or organic products consistently employ green to evoke trustworthiness, environmental consciousness, and a deep sense of well-being. Even in the powerful visual language of cinema, a lush green landscape frequently serves as a subtle, yet potent, signal of peace, fertility, innocence, or a temporary safe haven before a dramatic narrative shift, subtly guiding our emotional response in precisely the intuitive way Goethe understood centuries ago. Finally, let's turn our attention to purple, or more precisely, the intense purple-red, often resembling magenta, which for Goethe represented a powerful, almost mystical, and unifying culmination of the entire color journey. This unique color, effectively bridging the warm reds and the cool blues, embodied the spectrum's complete cycle, bringing together the active and passive poles in a profound, almost alchemical synthesis. He found it to be a majestic color, frequently associated with dignity, solemnity, and spiritual significance, yet also capable of evoking a sense of disquiet or even a subtle unease due to its concentrated intensity and overwhelming sense of completeness. It's a hue that doesn't merely exist, it asserts itself with authority, demanding full attention precisely because it holds such a condensed and powerful essence. It doesn't simply blend its constituent parts, it resolves the inherent tension of the opposing forces, creating a hue of total, sometimes unsettling, and often mysterious completion. This intrinsic duality makes purple incredibly potent and versatile in its modern applications. In luxury branding, deep, rich purples are used globally to signify royalty, opulence, sophistication, and an alluring sense of mystery, a direct echo of its noble and spiritual qualities. In the nuanced storytelling of entertainment and cinema, purple can be deployed to great effect to convey highly complex emotions, from the ethereal, magical allure of a fantasy realm to the unsettling psychological depth of a villain, or the decadent, almost forbidden opulence of a particular scene. Consider how antagonists are often cloaked in deep purples to signify their powerful, yet often unsettling, authority and enigmatic nature, or the use of vibrant neon purples in science fiction to suggest a futuristic, sometimes alien, culmination of advanced technology and striking aesthetic. It's a color that doesn't merely sit passively, it is an experience. Goethe's meticulous observations on yellow-red's boundless energy, green's perfect, restorative balance, and purple's unifying, powerful culmination were far from mere aesthetic preferences or fleeting impressions. They were systematic, deeply introspective explorations into the very fabric of the human experience of color, profound revelations that laid the foundational groundwork for much of what we now understand as modern color psychology. His 200-year-old insights continue to profoundly shape how we consciously and subconsciously design our environments, market our products, craft our visual narratives, and tell our stories across every medium, proving unequivocally that the language of color, as articulated by Goethe, is truly universal, deeply human, and utterly timeless. As we delve further into his fascinating theory, we'll uncover even more layers of its enduring wisdom. Welcome back to our journey through Goethe's extraordinary theory of colors. So far, we've explored the intellectual landscape that shaped his thinking and dipped our toes into his foundational insights. But now, in Chapter 4, we step beyond the lab and answer Goethe's call to simply look. This chapter isn't just about understanding Goethe's science, it's an invitation to rediscover a fundamental way of engaging with the world around us. Goethe wasn't just a poet, he was a scientist, albeit one with a profoundly different approach to many of his contemporaries and, indeed, many scientists today. He championed a method we now refer to as phenomenology, the patient, direct observation of natural phenomena as they appear to us, without immediate interpretation or reduction. For Goethe, true understanding didn't primarily come from abstract experiments designed to isolate variables, or from complex mathematical equations that sought to quantify every aspect. Instead, it emerged from a sustained, careful gaze at how things reveal themselves to our senses, how they unfold and transform in their natural context. It's about cultivating an almost childlike wonder, coupled with an adult's rigorous attention to detail. He believed that nature, when observed patiently and thoroughly, reveals its own laws and interconnections directly. This isn't to say he dismissed experimentation, but rather that he saw it as a means to orchestrate phenomena for better observation, not as an end in itself that replaced direct experience. Think of it this way: instead of dissecting a complex system into its smallest parts and hoping to reconstruct meaning, Goethe urged us to stand back, to watch the whole system in action, to observe its becoming and passing away, its ebb and flow. He understood that certain truths are only accessible through this holistic, intuitive immersion. This method encourages a deeply personal relationship with the subject matter, allowing intuition, built upon layers of careful observation, to guide our understanding. It's a call to slow down, to perceive the world not as a collection of isolated facts, but as a dynamic tapestry of interconnected appearances. This isn't an academic exercise confined to dusty libraries. It's a living practice you can adopt today. Let me offer a few simple examples, experiments you can conduct yourself, right outside your door, or even through your window. One of Goethe's most beloved phenomena was the observation of colored shadows. The next time you witness a sunrise or sunset, or even on a cloudy day when light diffuses gently, try this. Find a white wall or surface. Place a simple, opaque object, perhaps your hand, or a small stick between the light source and the wall. What do you see? You might notice that the shadow cast isn't merely gray or black. Especially at sunrise or sunset, when the ambient light is warm with yellows, oranges, and reds, the shadows often appear with surprising blues or purples. Why? Because the ambient, secondary light filtering into the shadow area is compensating for the warm primary light, creating complementary hues. Patiently watch how these colors shift as the sun rises higher or as a cloud passes. Don't rush to explain, just observe the phenomenon. Another simple yet profound observation involves water. Look at a body of water, a pond, a stream, or even just water in a clear glass. What color is it? Is it always the same? Observe how its color changes with the light conditions. Under a bright blue sky, it might appear intensely blue. Under a gray sky, it could be a murky green or even reflective silver. Notice the subtle shifts in depth, the reflections, the way light plays on its surface. See the spectrum appear as light refracts through disturbed water. These aren't just properties of water itself, but of the interplay between water, light, and our perception. Or consider a common soap bubble. It's a miniature, ephemeral world of color. Instead of just admiring its beauty for a fleeting moment, hold it up to the light. What do you notice about the colors? They aren't static, they shimmer and shift, creating vibrant, prismatic edges. Notice how the colors arrange themselves, often in bands, and how they change as the bubble thins and eventually bursts. Each observation, each repetition, builds a deeper, more nuanced understanding of light and color as a dynamic process, not a fixed entity. This approach stands in stark contrast to a purely mathematical or mechanistic view of nature, where a reductionist scientist might seek to isolate a wavelength, measure it, and categorize it. Goethe urges us to experience the whole phenomenon of color as it manifests in context. He wasn't against mathematics or measurement, but he believed they should serve our observation, not dominate or replace it. For Goethe, reducing nature to a collection of quantifiable parts risks losing the essence of its living, interconnected reality. He saw nature not as a machine to be disassembled, but as a living organism whose wisdom could only be gleaned through patient, empathic engagement. It's about recognizing that the how and what of observation are often more revealing than the immediate why through abstract explanation. So, how can you integrate Goethe's call to simply look into your own life? It starts with cultivating a mindset of being a curious, patient observer in your daily existence. When you're walking through a park, pause and genuinely look at the leaves on a tree. How do their colors shift in different light? What nuances appear in their shadows? When you're drinking your morning coffee, observe the play of light on its surface or the condensation forming on the glass. Notice the subtle gradients of color in the sky, not just in broad strokes, but in the delicate transitions between hues. This isn't about becoming a trained scientist overnight. It's about awakening a dormant part of our perception, a capacity for direct, unmediated experience. By consistently practicing this kind of patient observation, you begin to build a more intuitive, more personal, and ultimately, a more profound relationship with the world. You move beyond merely seeing to truly perceiving, connecting with the living, breathing phenomena that constantly surround us. It's a journey into the heart of nature, guided not by instruments alone, but by our own awakened senses. Embrace this journey, and you'll find that the world reveals itself in an entirely new and richer light. Welcome back to our exploration of Goethe's profound insights. Having delved into the subjective power of individual colors in Chapter 4, we now ascend to a new level of understanding in Chapter 5, the rules of harmony creating beauty with color. This chapter isn't merely about observation, it's where Goethe moves from describing what colors do to outlining a practical framework for artists, and indeed, for anyone, to create emotionally resonant work through deliberate color choices. His theory offers a powerful grammar for visual expression, turning intuition into a conscious, impactful tool. Goethe first articulated the concept of harmonious combinations. These are achieved by pairing complementary colors, those sitting directly opposite each other, on his unique color wheel. Imagine the vivid contrast of a brilliant yellow alongside a deep, mysterious violet. Unlike mere opposition, Goethe saw this relationship as one of profound resolution. When these visual antagonists meet, they don't clash. Instead, they create a dynamic equilibrium, a vibrant wholeness that feels utterly complete and satisfying to the eye. This isn't a blending into neutrality, but a powerful, energetic balance where each color accentuates and validates the other, leading to a sense of visual completeness and harmonious totality. It's the feeling of a chord perfectly struck, a resolution that leaves you visually nourished. In contrast, Goethe described characteristic combinations. These involve colors that are adjacent or next to each other on his color wheel. Consider the warm, inviting pairing of yellow and orange, or the serene calm of blue and green. Here, the intent is not balance or resolution, but rather the creation of a specific, unified mood or atmosphere. Yellow and orange together build an uninterrupted flow of warmth, energy, and joyous radiance. Blue and green coalesce into a tranquil, introspective narrative, evoking the peacefulness of a forest or the soothing expanse of the ocean. These combinations reinforce a particular emotional state, weaving a consistent visual story that deepens a singular feeling rather than achieving dynamic equilibrium. Throughout art history, these principles, whether consciously adopted or intuitively understood, have been vital. J.M.W. Turner, the celebrated English Romantic painter, serves as a magnificent example of Goethe's principles in action. Turner, with his revolutionary approach to light and atmosphere, used color not merely to describe, but to evoke the sublime. His breathtaking seascapes and stormy skies often employ characteristic combinations of reds, oranges, and yellows to convey overwhelming warmth, furious drama, or cataclysmic energy, immersing the viewer in the raw emotion of the scene. In other works, he might employ the harmonious tension of a cool blue ocean against a fiery orange sky to create a majestic, awe-inspiring balance that speaks of nature's vastness. Turner's genius lay in his intuitive mastery of color's psychological impact a field Goethe meticulously theorized. Later, the profound influence of Goethe on the abstract art movement became undeniable, particularly through Wassily Kandinsky. Kandinsky, often hailed as the pioneer of abstract art, explicitly credited Goethe's work as a foundational influence. For Kandinsky, color was a direct conduit to the human soul, a language capable of expressing deep spiritual and emotional truths without the need for representational forms. He explored how harmonious combinations like the spiritual tension of yellow and violet could evoke profound inner conflict and eventual resolution. Conversely, he used characteristic combinations of blues and greens to construct spaces of profound meditation or serene introspection. Kandinsky's seminal text, Concerning the Spiritual in Art, echoed Goethe's exploration of color's psychological impact, providing a systematic approach to using these harmonies and characteristics to communicate abstract ideas and emotions. These artistic rules are not confined to galleries, they are practical tools for enriching our daily lives. Consider choosing an outfit. If you aim for a look that is both vibrant and effortlessly put together, a harmonious combination is your ally. Imagine pairing a rich emerald green top with a striking magenta scarf. The opposition creates a lively contrast that feels complete and intentionally balanced. However, if your goal is to project a specific, unified mood, perhaps approachable warmth for a casual gathering, then a characteristic combination like a cozy rust-colored sweater with terracotta-toned trousers will envelop you in that singular, inviting feeling. The same principles translate beautifully into interior design. Envision a living room where a deep, contemplative blue wall is accented with carefully chosen orange-hued decorative items. This harmonious interplay generates a space that feels dynamic and stimulating, yet perfectly grounded, preventing any single color from overwhelming the senses. Conversely, if you desire a bedroom that radiates pure tranquility and peaceful continuity, a characteristic blend of varying shades of soft blues, aquas, and gentle greens will cocoon the space in a singularly serene and uninterrupted calm, fostering an environment conducive to rest and introspection. Goethe's rules of harmony are far more than academic distinctions. They are an empowerment, an invitation to understand and deliberately harness the profound emotional language of color. By recognizing these fundamental relationships, whether for dynamic balance and ultimate wholeness, or for the cultivation of a specific, unified mood, we move beyond mere aesthetic preference. We become deliberate creators, capable of crafting environments, artworks, and even personal presentations that resonate deeply, expressing beauty with conscious emotional impact, transforming the ordinary into something truly extraordinary. Welcome back to our journey through Goethe's extraordinary theory of colors. We've explored the origins of his ideas, delved into the dynamic interplay of the spectrum, and wrestled with the fundamental polarity of light and dark. But now, as we draw our main exploration to a close, we arrive at what is arguably the most profound, the most captivating, and indeed, the most intrinsically human aspect of his entire work: the moral, the symbolic, and the truly mystical and spiritual dimensions of color. For Goethe, color was never merely a physical phenomenon, a quantifiable wavelength, or a transient sensory experience, something external to us. Instead, he perceived it as a living, breathing expression of the world's soul, a profound revelation of nature's inner life, deeply intertwined with human experience, morality, and offering profound spiritual insight. It was, to him a vibrant window into the very character of existence, revealing the inner workings of nature and, by extension, the most subtle movements of the human spirit itself. He ventured far beyond the confines of the laboratory, seeing in each hue a resonant reflection of human qualities, specific professions, and even the archetypal roles within society. Consider, for instance, his meticulous observations on red, often termed the magnificent color. He associated this vibrant color with kings, with sovereign power, with the majesty of leadership, but also with the fiery depths of passion, the dynamic force of action, and the raw, untamed energy of life itself. Red, in its purest form, embodies strength and vitality. It demands attention, stirs the blood, and initiates movement. It is the very essence of the plus pole, active and forceful, representing the zenith of human will and presence. Conversely, he linked blue to philosophers, to profound contemplation, to the pursuit of truth, and to quiet, inward introspection. It's the color of the boundless, receding sky, of the deep, mysterious ocean, of a cool, analytical, yet ultimately serene intellectual gaze. Blue embodies the minus pole, drawing us inward, inviting stillness, and fostering a sense of removal from worldly clamor, encouraging thought and spiritual seeking. Green, a middle hue, naturally found its place with the balanced and the benevolent, embodying peace, growth, and the quiet promise of hope, a perfect equilibrium between the active yellow and passive blue. Yellow, meanwhile, the closest to light, could be seen in the joyous, the radiant, the hopeful, often associated with intellectual clarity and cheerfulness, but also in its darker, more turbid shades, the envious, the deceitful, or the sickly. Goethe's insights here weren't simply arbitrary cultural assignments, but rather an invitation to perceive the inherent character, the action or operation of these colors, and their undeniable echoes in our shared human drama and the very fabric of our being. He saw these connections not as mere metaphors, but as fundamentally true, stemming from the very nature of how color is born into experience. This profound understanding leads us to a truly revolutionary idea that color, in its purest essence, serves as a universal, non-verbal language. It's a form of communication that transcends spoken and written words, bypassing cultural barriers to speak directly to our spirit, to our emotions, to that intuitive, often precognitive part of us that processes reality before rational thought fully engages. Think about it. Before we even consciously register the word red or categorize it, we feel its urgency, its warmth, its warning. Before we intellectualize blue, we immediately experience its calm, its depth, its sense of peaceful distance. Color is a primary sensation, an immediate communication from the world to our very soul, much like a powerful piece of music that moves us without the need for specific lyrics. It evokes immediate feelings, triggers deep-seated memories, and sets profound moods without uttering a single syllable. This isn't just a psychological trick. It's a primal vocabulary embedded within our very being, a direct conduit to our unconscious responses and our most fundamental understandings of the world and our place within it. It's a testament to the idea that nature communicates its truths not just through observable phenomena, but through direct, living, sensory experience, a constant dialogue between the exterior world and our interior self. When we truly grasp this expansive, holistic perspective, we begin to see that Goethe's theory of colors is far more than a mere optical treatise or a dry scientific investigation. It's a comprehensive philosophy for living, a profound invitation to engage with the world in a more connected, more observant, and ultimately, a much richer and more deeply resonant way. It urges us to step out of purely abstract intellectual analysis and into a direct, felt experience of phenomena, to immerse ourselves in the immediate present moment with all our senses alert. It asks us to look, to perceive with our entire being, to feel the world around us, and to trust our own sensory and emotional responses as valid, indeed vital, forms of knowing. His work isn't just about understanding color itself, it's about understanding the very process of perception, about seeing the intricate interconnectedness of all things, and through that, understanding ourselves and our integral place in the grand, vibrant tapestry of existence. It stands in stark contrast to a purely mechanistic worldview, advocating instead for an experiential knowledge that fully integrates head and heart, intellect and intuition, objective observation and subjective feeling. It's about becoming truly alive to the subtle energies and profound meanings that permeate our environment. And so, as we bring our main exploration of Goethe's theory of colors to a reflective close, let me leave you with a final, perhaps transformative question. Can paying heightened attention to color, truly seeing and feeling its myriad manifestations in our daily lives, and recognizing its profound moral, symbolic, and spiritual dimensions help us understand ourselves and our world on a deeper, more profound level? Can observing how colors interact in nature, how they subtly or overtly affect our mood and behavior, how they carry powerful symbolic weight in our cultures and our personal histories, unlock new insights into our own emotional landscape, illuminate our societal conditioning, or even reveal the subtle energetic qualities that shape our environment and relationships? Goethe believed wholeheartedly that it could. He offered us not just a theory, but a profound method, a way of being truly present, a way of attuning ourselves to the vibrant, symbolic, and indeed, spiritual dialogue that the universe constantly holds with us. If only we learn to listen with our eyes and to truly feel with our spirit. His enduring legacy is a powerful reminder that the most profound truths often reside not in sterile dissection or cold intellectualism, but in a holistic, intuitive, and deeply engaged relationship with the living, breathing world around us, a world that speaks to us in a language of pure, unadulterated color, offering not just aesthetic pleasure but a tangible path to deeper self-understanding and spiritual connection. Now let's step beyond the page and truly experience Goethe's way with our 7-day color challenge, designed to help you actively apply his insights and perceive the world of color with renewed consciousness. This isn't just about seeing colors, it's about feeling their essence, understanding their interactions, and recognizing their profound impact on our perception and spirit. For days 1 and 2, observe. Your task is to actively watch a full sunrise or sunset. Choose a spot where you have an unobstructed view of the horizon. As the light waxes or wanes, meticulously note the sequence of colors that emerge and dissolve. Pay attention to how the blues deepen, how fiery reds and oranges bleed into soft purples and grays, and how these transitions occur as light interacts with the atmospheric veil. Goethe meticulously documented these very phenomena, seeing in them the dynamic interplay of light and darkness, the primordial poles from which all colors manifest. Don't just admire the beauty, dissect the experience, identifying the boundary conditions that give rise to each hue, just as Goethe would have done. Consider the purity of the blue at the zenith, the warm yellows and reds near the horizon, and the subtle greens or violets that might momentarily appear in between. Reflect on the transient nature of these spectacles, how they are born of conditions, not inherent pigments, mirroring Goethe's understanding of color as a living process. Then, for days 3 and 4, experience. On the first of these days, intentionally wear an item of clothing in a warm color, perhaps a vibrant red, a sunny yellow, or a deep orange. Throughout the day, journal about how you feel. Do you notice a shift in your mood? Do you feel more energetic, more assertive, or perhaps more irritable? Pay attention to how others respond to you, or how you initiate interactions. On the second day, switch to a cool color, a tranquil blue, a mysterious violet, or an earthy green. Again, document your internal state and your external interactions. Goethe posited that colors carry inherent psychological effects, believing red to be invigorating and passion-stirring, while blue evokes a sense of calm, contemplation, or even melancholy. By consciously immersing yourself in these chromatic fields, you're not just wearing a color, you're embodying its essence, testing Goethe's assertions against your own lived experience, truly feeling the moral sensory impact he so eloquently described. Notice the subtle cues, the slight changes in your demeanor, the way light might even seem to be absorbed or reflected differently from within you. Next, on days 5 and 6, create, or rather, find and discern. Your mission is to find color relationships in nature. On the first day, seek out a harmonious color pair. Think of a vivid purple flower with a striking yellow center, or the soft green of new leaves against the delicate pink of a blossom. These are pairs that, while distinct, complete each other, often residing on opposite sides of Goethe's color wheel, creating a sense of balance and vibrancy without clashing. Observe how they enhance one another, how the presence of one makes the other appear more vivid. On the second day, look for a characteristic color pair. This might be the myriad shades of green within a deep forest, from the emerald of moss to the olive of older leaves, to the blue-green of distant foliage, or the various ochres and browns in a rocky landscape. These are colors that belong together, not necessarily in opposition, but as variations within a single chromatic family, defining the essence or character of a particular scene. Goethe distinguished these relationships, showing us that colors don't just exist in isolation, but form intricate dialogues. Reflect on what makes each pair harmonious or characteristic, and how these natural compositions evoke different feelings or tell different stories through color alone. Finally, for day 7, reflect. Step back and truly observe your personal space, your living room, your office, your bedroom. What are the dominant colors you see? Is it a calming blue, an energizing yellow, a grounding brown, or a passionate red? What emotional tone do these colors collectively create according to Goethe's framework? Are they conducive to rest, work, creativity, or contemplation? For instance, a predominance of blues and greens might foster serenity, while an abundance of yellows and oranges could spark enthusiasm or intellectual activity. Consider also the subtle presence of achromatic colors, whites, grays, and blacks, and how they influence the overall effect. This final day is about internalizing your week of observation and experience, applying Goethe's profound insights to your immediate environment, and consciously recognizing the chromatically charged atmosphere you inhabit daily. By completing this 7-day challenge, you won't just have learned about Goethe's theory of colors, you will have begun to live it, transforming your perception and enriching your understanding of the vibrant, dynamic world that surrounds you, forever changed by Goethe's way of seeing. As we draw to a close on our journey through the vibrant world of Goethe's theory of colors, let's distill its profound insights into three fundamental truths, three essential ways of seeing that transform not just how we perceive color, but how we engage with the very fabric of existence. These aren't mere academic points, they are invitations to a richer, more perceptive life, illuminated by the spectrum of our experience. The first, and perhaps most revolutionary, truth Goethe unveils is this: color is an experience, not just data. It's not simply a measurable wavelength or a quantifiable physical property existing independently of us. Instead, color, in Goethe's worldview, is a dynamic event, a living phenomenon born directly from the dramatic primordial encounter between light and darkness. Imagine the sun's brilliant, unblemished light meeting the encroaching veil of shadow. It is in this tension, this sacred embrace, that the miraculous spectacle of color emerges. It's a dance, a dialogue that takes place not out there in the cold, objective world alone, but crucially, within the very crucible of our own perception. Color, therefore, is inherently subjective, intimately tied to the human eye and the human soul. It speaks directly to our inner landscape, bypassing purely intellectual understanding to stir our emotions, evoke memories, and shape our moods. It's a language understood not through equations, but through sensation, through feeling, through the immediate impact it has on our being. This is why a particular shade of blue can bring forth a sense of calm, or a vivid red can ignite a spark of passion, long before our minds can categorize or rationalize it. It is the world reaching out to us, not just with information, but with an invitation to feel, to participate, to truly live in color. Flowing directly from this experiential nature, our second truth reveals that colors have unique personalities. Goethe wasn't interested in a mere cataloging of hues. He delved into the very essence of each color, recognizing that every segment of the spectrum carries a distinct psychological power. Think of colors not as inert pigments, but as characters in a grand play, each with their own temperament, their own story, their own profound influence on our thoughts and feelings. Yellow, for instance, springs forth from light itself, embodying joy, clarity, and warmth, yet easily tipping into irritation or repulsion when intensified. Blue, conversely, leans towards darkness, evoking a sense of calm, coolness, and depth, a meditative quality that can also descend into melancholy or even a chilling emptiness. Red, the powerful magenta, stands at the pinnacle, a fusion of yellow and blue's extremities, representing vigor, dynamism, and passion, a force that captures attention and stirs the spirit. Goethe's careful observations revealed how these intrinsic qualities aren't just cultural constructs, but arise from the very way light and dark interact to produce them. He encouraged us to see these personalities not as symbolic interpretations we impose, but as inherent expressions of the natural world, influencing our psyche in profound and often unconscious ways. This understanding allows us to wield color with intention, whether in art, design, or simply in our daily appreciation of the world, recognizing its potent, almost sentient, capacity to shape our inner and outer realities. Finally, the third and perhaps most empowering truth from Goethe's work is this: true understanding comes from looking. This isn't a call to abandon all books or theoretical frameworks, but rather an urgent plea to shift our primary source of knowledge from abstract principles to direct, patient, and curious observation of the world around us. Goethe championed an empirical approach, one where the deepest wisdom isn't found in a textbook formula or a preconceived notion, but in the meticulous, almost meditative, act of seeing. He invites us to shed our intellectual preconceptions, to approach the world with a child's wonder and a scientist's rigor, simply observing what unfolds before our eyes. By truly looking at the phenomenon of color, how it manifests in the sunrise, in a painter's palette, in the fleeting iridescence of a bird's feather, or in the subtle shift of hues on a distant mountain range, we begin to discern its inherent laws, its patterns, its profound truths. This process isn't about passively receiving information, it's an active engagement, a cultivated practice of perception that hones our senses and deepens our intuition. It's about letting the world speak to us directly, allowing its complexity and beauty to inform our understanding rather than forcing it into rigid categories. In doing so, we don't just learn about color, we learn from color, developing a richer, more nuanced appreciation for the intricate dance of light and dark that paints our world. This commitment to direct observation is a path to profound personal insight, a way of cultivating a deeper, more empathetic connection with all of existence, reminding us that the grandest truths are often hiding in plain sight, awaiting our patient gaze. These three truths, color as an experience, colors as personalities, and understanding through observation, form the cornerstone of Goethe's enduring legacy. They challenge us to move beyond mere intellectual comprehension and embrace a more holistic, more human way of seeing. They invite us to step out from behind the veil of abstraction and truly participate in the vibrant, living drama of color that surrounds us every moment of every day. So, as you go forth, I encourage you to look, truly look, at the colors that greet you. Feel their presence, understand their character, and let them guide you to a deeper appreciation of the extraordinary, luminous world we inhabit. As our deep dive into Goethe's theory of colors draws to a close, remember that this isn't merely an academic exercise, but an invitation, a profound call to action to engage with the world in a more conscious, more vibrant way. Goethe didn't just want us to understand color, he wanted us to experience it, to feel its presence, and to reflect on its powerful impact on our inner lives. This philosophical and scientific journey is continuous, and your personal exploration is just beginning. We've touched upon the dynamic interplay of light and dark, the evocative power of the chromatic circle, and the deeply personal, often overlooked, effects colors have on our very being. Now it's your turn to step forward and immerse yourself further into this fascinating realm. So, I want to pose a question to you, directly from the heart of our discussion. What is the single color that affects your mood the most? Take a moment to truly consider this. Is it the invigorating surge you feel from a brilliant scarlet, perhaps prompting feelings of passion or even irritation? Or is it the profound tranquility that settles upon you in the presence of a deep, oceanic blue, perhaps calming your thoughts or evoking a sense of melancholy? Maybe a sunny, optimistic yellow lifts your spirits, or a mysterious, contemplative violet draws you into introspection. And crucially, why do you think this particular color holds such sway over your emotional landscape? Is it tied to a cherished memory, a cultural association, a primal instinct, or something far more subtle and undefinable? We've learned that Goethe believed our perception of color is not merely optical, but deeply rooted in our subjective experience, intertwining with our psychology and our very soul. Your personal connection to color is a testament to this profound insight. Share your unique experiences and reflections in the comments section below. Let's create a vibrant tapestry of individual perspectives, a living testament to Goethe's enduring legacy. Your contribution isn't just a comment, it's a piece of the larger human experience of color, and I genuinely look forward to reading each and every one of your thoughtful responses, fostering a community that truly appreciates the nuanced world around us. This exchange of ideas, these personal stories, enrich our collective understanding far beyond what any single lecture could achieve, echoing the collaborative spirit of inquiry that Goethe himself cherished. If this journey through Goethe's magnificent theory of colors has resonated with you, if it has offered you a fresh lens through which to perceive the everyday world, perhaps changing how you look at the sunset, a painting, or even just the colors in your own home, then I sincerely ask for your support. If you found value in this deep dive, if it stimulated your intellect, or simply brought a moment of contemplative wonder into your day, please consider giving this video a like. Your likes are more than just a click, they're a vital signal to the algorithms that this content is worthwhile, helping others who are curious about these profound topics to discover it. And to ensure you don't miss out on future explorations into equally fascinating ideas that challenge our perceptions, expand our understanding, and delve into the rich tapestry of human thought, I wholeheartedly encourage you to subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you become an active part of this community of curious minds, a fellow traveler on a journey through history, philosophy, science, and art. Don't forget to hit that notification bell too, so you'll be among the first to know when our next video is released. From forgotten ancient texts that illuminate lost wisdom, to groundbreaking scientific theories that reshape our modern world, and philosophical insights that prompt deep personal reflection, this channel is dedicated to bringing these compelling narratives to life. Your support, through likes and subscriptions, empowers us to continue producing high-quality, thought-provoking content that aims to enrich your intellectual landscape. But merely listening is only the first step. True understanding, as Goethe himself taught, comes through active engagement and personal experimentation. So, as a tangible next step, I invite you to embark on your own 7-day color challenge. Here's how you can approach it for one entire week. Choose a specific color, perhaps blue, red, or green, and make a conscious effort to observe its presence and influence in every aspect of your day. Notice where you encounter it, how it makes you feel, how it interacts with other colors, and what thoughts or memories it evokes. Jot down your observations in a journal. Does that blue shirt make you feel more calm? Does the red traffic light provoke a different kind of urgency than a yellow one? How does the green of nature affect your sense of well-being? After your 7 days are complete, come back to this video and share your most striking or surprising findings in the comments. Your first-hand experiences will be invaluable, not just for you, but for all of us. Or, even better, if you're truly captivated by this subject, find yourself a copy of Goethe's Theory of Colors. Whether it's a classic translation or a more modern edition, holding the actual book, turning its pages, and tracing Goethe's original arguments and observations is an unparalleled experience. It's a direct dialogue with a titan of thought, an opportunity to embark on your own, deeply personal journey of discovery, interpreting his insights through the unique lens of your own perception. Don't just read about color, live it, observe it, and let it transform your understanding of the world around you, just as Goethe intended. And what adventures lie ahead for us on this channel. Our journey through the boundless realm of human knowledge and perception is far from over. Having glimpsed the profound implications of Goethe's work on color, we are now poised to explore even more intricate and often surprising connections. In upcoming videos, we might delve into the fascinating historical evolution of color symbolism across different cultures and eras, unraveling why certain hues hold such divergent meanings from one civilization to another. Or perhaps we'll explore the cutting-edge scientific understanding of light, venturing beyond Goethe to modern physics and neuroscience, examining how our brains actually construct the colors we perceive from mere wavelengths. We could even investigate the surprising interplay between color and other senses, like sound, asking if there's a genuine link between a particular shade and a musical note, a concept that has intrigued artists and scientists for centuries. Imagine a deep dive into the use of color in ancient Egyptian rituals or the psychology behind modern branding and advertising. Each episode promises to offer new perspectives, challenge your assumptions, and ignite your intellectual curiosity. So make sure you're subscribed and your notification bell is active, because you won't want to miss our next captivating exploration. The spectrum of ideas we're committed to exploring is vast, rich, and endlessly rewarding, promising to continuously offer you new ways to engage with the magnificent complexities of our shared human experience. Join us as we continue to illuminate the corners of history, science, and philosophy, one compelling idea at a time.